Another week goes by, another episode of Discovery. So it's been said that my reviews are inherently negative about this show. So I thought for a change I'd do a positive review. Are you ready? Here it comes. Meh. So let's get back to my usual brand of sarcasm, cynicism, and general, you could say, loathing for this show. This episode was, well, it would appear as just another filler episode. We don't get any closer to finding out who's responsible for the big DMA anomaly. Bit of a tongue twister, that one. I'll take you through a quick rundown of the episode. Obviously, tell you some points that I liked or disliked. Probably mainly disliked, to be perfectly honest. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. Please feel free to share these videos. And if you are new here and you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to give the video a like as well. So, this episode, okay. So, we're not actually progressing very much. It still centres around Book and Tarka doing their rogue mission. Yeah, kind of bored throughout this entire episode. There were a few moments where I went, oh. And I have to say that if I was to pick a positive point from this show, speaking of positivity, you know, trying to be a bit more generous to the show, I would have to say that the character of Saru is probably the best thing about this show. But he's seen a lot less in this season than before. So I just find him quite an interesting character. I suppose he's the most interesting thing, you know, in a box of feces that is this show. There's a positive. I kind of like Saru. He's the best thing. That's about it. Okay, so the episode opens and we have Book and Tarka building a bomb. They're assembling the weapon with the isolinium that they got from the previous episode, pouring it into a nice little glass ball and building the bomb that's going to destroy the DMA. And we cut to Michael Burnham, who gets a message from Book saying, look, I think it's really amazing that, you know, you figured out that the mining it and everything, but I'm still going to go ahead with my plan because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead with my plan. Fuck you, Michael. Saru says, well, he's leaving us with very little choice. We're going to have to go after him and stop him and use any force necessary. When I said at the beginning of the video, I like Saru. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gushing over the character of Saru. I'm simply saying that of all the cast in Discovery, of all the cast of characters in Discovery, he's the least detestable. And Doug Jones does a reasonable job. I think he does the best with what he has. So I quite like the character of Saru. The Admiral dude face, he says, I think maybe you're too close to this. But it always ends with Burnham going. So he decides to bring in a person who can put a leash on her or a rein on her and keep her and make sure that she basically follows her orders. Turns out it's the Barzan lady from previous season and season 2. You know, the yum yum. And she's come back and she's a commander. Who knew? She's a commander. Like everybody else. So she's now a commander. She's working with Starfleet Black Ops. Okay? They really do like the Black Ops in this, don't they? So I think her name is Commander Commander Non-importance. And she's got upgraded breathers, just in case you were wondering. Burnham's really happy, obviously, to see her because she's amazing, I guess. She's really happy that no one's going to keep a leash on her because it's best that she do it and not someone who doesn't know Burnham. Saru gets a visit from the Vulcan president because obviously there's some kind of romantic attraction starting here. Tries to meditate with her. Doesn't work, funnily enough, because she's a hologram, probably. And Saru's basically just distracted with the difficult nature of the mission. He's finding it hard to reassure others. Okay. fine, fair enough. What everyone looks for in a good commander, someone to put their crew at ease. Hopefully you'd find that the crew would be professional enough to not need that in time of crisis, but hey-ho. Professionalism and all of that. But there was one interesting exchange, and it shows how much they've changed the Vulcan species. They've made them a very different type of Vulcan in this show. And he's saying, basically, look, you're in a crisis situation. I know that feelings aren't important in a crisis situation. And the Vulcan president says, feelings are important. They are of utmost importance. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, okay, fine. You know what? I'm just going to let it slide. Whatever. Just get on with it. Get on with it. So Discovery is obviously going after Book, and they arrive at the location where Book's hiding, which they say is a rogue, uninhabited planet. Now, it's rogue because it's on its own. It's uninhabited. You don't say. The planet is literally full of holes. I'd be surprised if it was inhabited. Stating the obvious, apparently. And it's a planet, but I think it ceased to be a planet a long time ago. And they just love the zoom shots going through this hollow world. They might as well be hiding in a rogue asteroid, you know. No, they're hiding in a rogue, uninhabited planet. Discovery cloaks and jump. You don't really see Discovery jump, you just see all the weird effects around it. So it's decided that Burnham is not going to take point on the infiltration mission to Book's vessel. That Saru's going to take point, and he's going to take Dr. Culber along to de-escalate any tension that may arise as a result of the fucking raid on the ship. So to try and talk these people down. You've got Book, who's hell-bent on retribution and stopping people from dying, and you've got Tarka, who's hell-bent on getting back to his own stupid, contrived parallel universe. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to talk them down. And Culber's like, you know, Booker isn't... This whole episode is basically saying Booker he's acting from a place of grief. Everything he does is justified, which it's not. He's made an active decision to attack a species that they don't know. And yeah, okay, it's a big threat. Apparently, it's the biggest threat, because everything has to be the biggest threat. Basically, for a preemptive strike. They try and give everyone's opinion to either side of the argument, you know. And the away team consists of Saru, Culber, Reese, and... God, what's his name? Bryce. It's Bryce. I'm getting good with these names. It's Bryce and Reese. The two background characters, you know, Space Jesus' support cast, you know. They go along. And they have this little argument, yeah? And it's like, Book is so going to jail. Well, actually, I think he'll be all right. He's not going to jail because he's in pain, man. You know, you haven't lost anything, man. I thought the whole setup for this season and the previous season was that everybody lost someone because they've been catapulted a stupid amount of years in the future, 900 years in the future. They've all lost their family. They're never going to see them again. So everybody's lost something. And this shithead and this shithead are having an argument about who's suffered the biggest loss. Don't try and compare losses, man. Okay? I'm not having it. I'm not standing for it. And Culber goes, guys, calm down, okay? We're going to do this. We got a job to do. We're going to do it together. We are going to do it together as a team, as a family, I'll give as a cuddle. Oh, I want to cuddle. I know some writers. I've met some writers. I've talked to some writers. And believe you me, this is surface level crap. This is basic. Basically, this show, All New Trek, is basic. Okay, it's not in depth. It doesn't explore great big questions, and if it asks great big questions, but it doesn't explore great big questions. It doesn't delve deep into anything. It's shallow, ankle deep crap. And this conflict that these guys are having is so easily quelled by Culber by just saying, "Hey, we gotta do this together." And it's infuriating. They make it to Book's ship and they try docking with it. And turns out Tarka's put this booby trap in, which basically means this thing just... I think it's that bloody programmable matter bollocks, complete and utter plot device, it starts consuming the little shuttle, and Book's like, what the fucking hell is going on? This alarm is going off on my ship. I've never heard this alarm before. And Tarka's like, hey, I'm so smart. I installed a device basically to destroy anything that touches my ego and my brain. The shuttle gets consumed. They all make it out. All the A-Team make it out, but they don't make it onto Booker's ship. They manage to beam out at the last second before the shuttle tears itself apart. Book and Tarka jump. Their ship jumps and goes straight to the DMA. Everybody's looking at each other like they've just shat themselves or just pissed themselves or literally farted, and everyone's trying to figure out. It's kind of like if you've seen the new Jumanji, they joke about the Rock's smouldering intensity. It's kind of like that. Everyone's looking at each other with smouldering intensity. It's like, that's a shit smouldering intensity, I know, but everybody's looking at each other like they've literally just browned their underwear. The Discovery come up with a plan to destroy Book's spore drive, and Burnham goes, no, we can't do that. No, screw that. It'll destroy the spore drive. Federation needs a spore drive, and Barzan Lady's going, hey, look, this is the last resort. If he don't give up, we're going to have to destroy him. Burnham's all like, but I know we're going to destroy him, but I believe Book will come around. He'll come around. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. So there's a bit of cat and mouse inside the DMA, and Discovery jumps and tries to get in the way of Book's ship, and Book's like, oh, I know what she's doing. She's trying to stop us from getting to the DMA and firing our weapon. And Tarka's like, well, will you stop playing games with her and just bloody launch the thing? And he goes, I can't launch it if I don't have a target. We've only got one of these weapons, and if I fire it and it's wrong, we're going to lose our only chance, aren't we, you dickhead? And Tarka's like, hey, I'm just trying to get the job done. Tarka's getting a bit annoyed with the fact that Book's going, I love Michael Burnham and I don't want to fire on her. Tarka launches some more powerful weapons towards Discovery, and Discovery gets quite badly damaged, as it always does, And Barzan Lady goes, hey, look, now, I'm telling you, right now, you need to follow through with my plan and destroy Book's ship. He's just fired these really powerful weapons. And Burnham just goes, it wasn't Book. It couldn't have been Book. It couldn't have been Book. I'm telling you, he would not have done that. And it's like everybody's defending him. People are saying, oh, he should go to prison. People are saying, oh, no, he shouldn't. It's like, no. Let's just fucking stop him. Then we'll analyse his fucking mistakes. Burnham has this bright idea of taking a shuttle and flying up to Book's view screen directly and having a face-to-face conversation through two ships. And she manages to convince him to stand down. And he's like, yeah, all right, Michael, I love you. I will stand down. I promise I'm going to stand down. This geezer in the back, he don't look happy that I'm having a stand down. I can see the reflection. It was a reflection in my view screen. He don't look happy, so keep an eye on him because he's shifty. And the reason he decides to stand down for 1 week is because Burnham and Discovery have found a way to find out how long the DMA is actually going to be there, because they're mining boronite. Boring. I mentioned it last video. Special call out to the Nitpicking Nerd. Check out his channel. He actually pointed out to me that boronite was originally in Voyager, and that's the ore that they used to make the Omega particle, which, funnily enough, this actually looks like a bit like the Omega particle. It's the same geometric shape, but it's a control device. So whether or not they're getting messed up on that or not, but big thank you to Nitpicking Nerd for that one. Book agrees to stand down. Says, "All right, I'll give you a week. I'll fire my weapon in a week's time." And Tarka's like having none of that. Okay, he's like, oh my god, no, I'm smart as hell. I just want to get home to my parallel universe. Okay, I'm just gonna fire this damn thing, and you aren't gonna be able to stop me in time. Even though I have this long speech about mathematical probabilities of people stabbing you in the fucking back. Tarka launches the weapon. Kaboom! The DMA is gone. The control matrix is gone. The DMA it's gone. They jump out. Obviously, both of the ships jump out in time, and the power source that Tarka's looking for disappears. It's just gone. So he's like, well, no, where is it? Where is it, man? Where is my power source? And Buck's all like, what do you mean, where's the power source? It's not, you're telling me it's not there. Tarka realises, oh, this thing must have a power cord from the other side, I suppose. It's powered from the other side of this wormhole. Burnham and Barzan lady decide, look, I understand what you mean now by finding the middle ground. Let's try and find the middle ground now. We should find the middle ground because everyone's got to find the middle ground, and it's amazing, really. I think it's kind of a metaphor, if you will. It's a parallel, and it's a message to the Star Trek fans. Look, you like that, and we like that. Can we not find some middle ground? To which my answer is absolutely. We can find some middle ground. How about you stop writing shit and I'll start watching and liking when you stop making shit. Shallow shit. Shit that won't even fucking reach your heels. The episode closes with two scenes. One is Saru obviously going to Dr. Culber and saying, look, I've got this thing with this Vulcan president lady and she's interested in me. She wants to go on walks and dates and stuff. But I've got a busy life, I can't really juggle it all. And Culber says, well, look, are you attracted to her? And he goes, I think I am. I have to admit, this scene actually made me laugh, okay? I put my hands up. It made me laugh. Culber just turns to him and says, with all due respect, sir, you're being an idiot. And it made me laugh. Guilty. It actually made me laugh. I found some positive. The episode becomes completely pointless, and the last two episodes, let's say, becomes completely pointless because Burnham gets a call to go to the bridge, and of course we have to have the big, reveal at the end, or the cliffhanger at the end. And it's just, the DMA's back. There's another DMA. They've just done another one. And Species 10C was probably like this. Sir, what do you want? The mining equipment just exploded. What? Just exploded? Yeah, it's just poof, gone. What are you doing? Oh, it's just mining a galaxy and it's just blown up. Oh, okay. Get the spare. Come on. Chop. The episode closes with Saru and Burnham saying, well, I guess we got our first contact then. So that's it. That's the breakdown. What did I think to this episode? Well, at the risk of sounding negative, it wasn't very good, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Hey, as you all know, I'm a massive fan of Star Trek. Have been for many, 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 many years. Recently had a comment. Someone said, look, why should I even bother subscribing to you? You're so negative all the time. You don't see this show as a separate entity and, review it on its own merits. My response is very clear. Okay, I'm very clear. I would do a neutral review of Star Trek Discovery if it didn't have the name Star Trek. It's got Star Trek. They're claiming it's Star Trek. They're writing it as Star Trek. But it's nothing like we had before. It's badly written. It's shallow writing. Bad direction. The visuals, although they look crisp and stunning in one way, they're shit in another. The aesthetics of the show, all the ships look like shit. You remember classic Star Trek? You remember the Next Generation, DS9? We had ship porn. We had ships that looked gorgeous, well designed, well thought out, well conceived. Discovery looks like a heap of shit. Let's make a sleeker Voyager. Let's just have a triangle, a piece of fucking pizza with a couple in the cells that look sleek and it's all white and everything. There's absolutely no thought that goes into it. I'm ending this review with a rant, but I don't know why. It just gets my fucking back up. If they brought in some of the writers from classic Trek, from Next Generation, DS9 Voyager, and asked them for some help. But I'll tell you something, they'll never, ever, ever, ever go to those people. You know why? Ego. They've got too big an ego to bruise. It's, look, I'm writing very decent Star Trek, and there are people in this world that like it. There are people in this world that like my channel. And there are people in this world who don't like my channel. There are people who want to subscribe. There are people who don't want to subscribe. You can't please everybody. But, if you've got a franchise that's made billions, you need to make sure it keeps doing so. And pissing off a majority of your fan base is not the way to do it. Discovery, Picard, Lower Decks, these shows have not been well received. They haven't been. Now, you can have some websites fucking bullshitting about the ratings and everything, but the fact of the matter is, these shows are not getting good ratings. These shows are not popular. They're not received well by Star Trek fans in general. Now, you've got a few Star Trek Discovery fans. You've got people who absolutely cream over new Star Trek, getting new Star Trek all the time. I want new Star Trek. Give me new Star Trek. And it doesn't matter what shit is coming out. People will eat it. And when someone gets critical of a show, people jump down their throats saying, you don't get it. You didn't get the memo on Star Trek. You don't know what Star Trek's all about. I've only watched Star Trek for 35 fucking years. I know Star Trek. I grew up watching Star Trek. I grew up watching The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, the movies, the entire universe of Star Trek. I fucking fell in love with it. For the minute I saw it, I fell in love with it. And you get people coming along saying, you son of a bitch, why don't you like New Trek? Because it's badly written, it's badly acted. Discovery is the Michael Burnham show. It's Sonequa Martin Green, and just Sonequa Martin Green. Everyone else is a supporting character who gets barely any screen time. I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video that I like Saru. I do like Saru. He's a good character. I think so. I think his lines are pretty shit now and then, but he's not a bad character. And if you let him be badass, he would be badass. He'd be a great fucking captain. I think he could frontline Discovery and chuck Space Jesus out in the fucking trash. God! I'm so sick of shallow writing. I'm so sick of no one actually putting some love, care and attention into things. They just pick this fucking book up. That's all they do. Pick it up, pick something they like, and just fucking reference it, and expect the fans to go, oh my God, they referenced that. Did you see that? They referenced it. Well, I'm not that easily pleased, clearly. Fuck. Discovery, Star Trek Discovery is I'm sorry, it's a pile of shit, okay? It has been a pile of shit since season 1. But here's the kicker. I'm watching season 4, yeah? Putting up with this shit to make these videos, which I'm absolutely fucking having a blast doing, by the way. I love making these videos because I'm passionate about Star Trek. I'm doing these reviews, I'm watching this bullshit. I'm actually thinking, I missed season 1. I want to go back and rewatch season 1 because at least then it was trying, it had its own identity. It was trying to find its own feet, okay? It takes a while for a show to find its own footing. This show hasn't found it. It's destroyed the Federation. One of the greatest characters created in Star Trek is the Federation. The Federation is not a utopia, okay? It's got its problems. But fucking hell. Do you ever lay there as a youngster and go, you know what? If I fell through a wormhole right now, face planted the deck of the USS Enterprise, would I be unhappy? And a lot of the time I'd say no, because first place I'd go is sickbay. I'd have all my fucking ailments sorted. Then I'd go to engineering and see how a fucking warp drive works. Then I'd go to the bridge. I'd love it. It was a place where your imagination could take flight. It was a place where you knew every place they showed you. You learnt up here, and you were able to visualize going around the corridors and interacting with that world. This great group of people. I don't get any of that from Discovery, and I'm a grown man. I don't get any of that inspiration from Discovery. I couldn't tell you the layout of fucking Discovery. And I'll tell you something else. The writers couldn't even tell you the fucking layout of Discovery. Because, you know, there's a scene in season 2, is it season 2, season 3, where they're falling down this chasm in the middle of the ship. And they're falling for like a decade down the shaft of this ship. This Discovery. Discovery's that fucking big, and they don't even know the layout. The Next Generation technical manual drew the ship. The fucking writers and the designers drew the ship. Told you where everything was and what it did. And you felt like it was a real place. There's no immersion in this. Fuck. How the fuck did this review turn into a rant? I guess I got my fucking backup, but it's fucking annoying. By season 4 of The Next Generation, if you didn't know the main characters' names, then you weren't paying attention. I've just learnt the fucking character's name. I just got it fucking right after season 4. It's called Bryce. Because he's in it like 2% of it. They're all there to push buttons and do shit. The minute they get even an ounce of a backstory, it's a quick 30 fucking seconds of some kind of twisted backstory. You know, it's always some kind of fucking, oh, when I was 10, I was hit by a boulder in the face, and now this is what I look like, and I hate boulders. Are you fucking kidding me? Previous Star Trek shows actually explored other characters. They gave other characters some fucking screen time. But no, we have to do Space Jesus and Booker. Quite singularly, the most boring, dullest person I've ever known. I'm getting fired up. I'm getting angry. I mean, this episode was what it was. It was dull and it was pointless. It makes the last episode pointless. This episode pointless. All it's done is put Book in the bad books. Okay, and Tarka, it's just proven what a dick he is. We're no further along with the fucking progression. We know that we've not learned anything new other than the fact that Species 10C are basically mining the galaxy for boronite so they can probably create omega particles and that they can create multiple DMAs. They've got a backup drill. Jesus Christ. One episode of Star Trek The Next Generation could accomplish what Discovery takes 4 episodes to do. Shit on a stick. This is infuriating. So as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about Star Trek. And yes, I do have a life, an existence outside of Star Trek. Might surprise some of you who are thinking, God, this guy's got no life. But I do have a life, and I'm going to go back to it now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. Feel free to share the video. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, then please hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this content. I'll be back with more videos on this absolute shit show. And I shall see you in the next video. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter, I know I'll